A former presidential candidate says Nigeria must be intentional with agriculture to secure food. World Bank says millions of Nigerians live below the poverty line. Oxfam International reveals that $41 billion of World Bank's climate finance is unaccounted for. Good evening and welcome to Himma News at 5. My name is Nunanba Agabus Eridan. The 2023 presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, has said that Nigeria must be intentional with its agricultural investments if it must conquer food insecurity. Obi stated this in a statement issued by his spokesperson, Ibrahim Umar, on Friday in Abuja. The former presidential candidate was speaking against the backdrop of a food security update report released by the World Bank. Speaking on the report, Obi likened Nigeria's worsening food security crisis to war-torn countries like Yemen, stating that there was a significant rise in the number of people facing acute food shortages and hunger epidemics. Obi maintained that moving the country from consumption to production remains the surest way of combating food insecurity and pulling the nation out of the present food crisis. The Labour Party leader expressed the regret that a state like Niger, which is twice bigger in landmass than the Netherlands, could neither feed itself nor the nation. While noting that the Netherlands exports over $100 billion worth of agro-products annually, he stressed the need for Nigeria to also prioritize investment in agriculture. This, he said, could be achieved by combating insecurity which had kept farmers away from the farms and adopting modern ways of mechanized farming. According to Obi, a country booming with productivity, free from hunger, with an abundant food supply is possible. Farmers in Niger State's Mariga local government area have been hit with an 11 million naira levy by bandits. The bandits also threatened to prevent the farmers from harvesting their crops if the payment was not made. Security reports on Friday revealed that the bandits targeted villages in the Dusai, Olobo, Sabonwurung, and Hunyo communities in the north-central state. They demanded not only cash, but also motorcycles, food and mobile phones in exchange for abducted villagers. The latest development comes as part of a growing trend where bandits impose heavy levies on local communities, a similar tactic of famous bandit leader Bello Turji in Nigeria's northwest region. With unabating hunger across the country, Action Aid Nigeria on Thursday asserted that Nigeria's post-harvest losses have hit 3.5 trillion naira annually, threatening national food security. The country director of AAN, Andrew Mamedu, appealed to Nigerian businesses to invest at least 10% in the agricultural sector to secure Nigerians' future. Action 8 Nigeria said to align with the World Food Day theme and achieve lasting solutions, the federal and state governments must prioritize the agricultural sector through massive investments in irrigation, credit facilities, processing hubs, and agroecology. The International Fund for Agricultural Development IFAD Value Chain Development Program, VCDP, has sensitized farmers and herders to promote peaceful coexistence and sustainable agricultural development. The Business and Marketing Development Officer, VCDP, in Niger State, Elizabeth Issa, said this at a promotion and sensitization of conflict resolution through Commodity Alliance Forum CAF in Mokwa, Edati, and Burgu local government areas of the state. She said the initiative was taken by IFAD VCDP to foster harmonious and peaceful relationships among farmers and herders to enhance agricultural productivity. Issa noted that development relies heavily on conflict resolution, stressing that IFAD has zero tolerance towards conflict to ensure long-term sustainability of its projects. The resource person at the sensitization, Julius Karma, said conflicts often arise from clashes between economic interests and value systems, particularly among farmers and herders competing for limited land. He said conflicts were an inherent aspect of human interaction, but can be destructive as well as beneficial, resulting in positive change and growth when peacefully resolved among parties. The sensitization was attended by stakeholders, village heads, local government chairmen, farmers, Mieti Allah, divisional officers of police, and NSCDC. The government of Niger says military authorities have banned rice, cereal, and other food exports to all countries, including Nigeria, except fellow Alliance of Sahel States, ASS, members to protect local supply. ASS is a confederation formed between Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso as a mutual defense pact following the 2023 Nigerian crisis, in which the West African political bloc ECOWAS threatened to intervene militarily to restore civilian rule after a coup in Niger earlier that year. With the Sahel nation experiencing high inflation on certain foods, the products banned for export besides rice include legumes such as cowpea and cereals like millet, sorghum, and corn. The government said in a statement late Wednesday that junta chief Abdurrahman Tiani took the measure to protect the supply of the internal market and make the goods of mass consumption accessible. Punishments for those infringing the ban range from the seizure of shipments to criminal penalties. Niger is a key regional supplier of cereals, especially for some states in neighboring Nigeria. Although the sanctions imposed on Niger by the West African bloc ECOWAS in the wake of the July 2023 coup were lifted in February, they have nonetheless disrupted regular supplies to Nigerian markets, where inflation remains high for products, including rice. The World Bank has released the Nigeria Development Update Report, offering a bleak outlook on poverty in Nigeria, as it stated that over 129 million Nigerians now live below the national poverty line. It released the report on Thursday in Abuja, as Nigerians lamented the worsening hunger nationwide and wondered when the country's ballooning rate of inflation would slow down. The Global Financial Bodies report revealed that the over 129 million Nigerians who now live below the national poverty line represented a sharp rise from 40.1% in 2018 to 56% in 2024, adding that the COVID-19 pandemic compounded this drop in economic activity. Reports observed that there was an increase from 115 million in 2023 to 129 million in 2024, which means that 14 million Nigerians have become poorer this year. And the Washington-based bank attributed this surge to inflation, poor economic management, and external shocks. It further revealed that while poverty remained a rural phenomenon, urban poverty had grown significantly, with 31.3% of urban dwellers now living in poverty, up from 18% in 2018. Please stay tuned for more stories. Thank you for staying with us. Antimicrobial resistance, AMR, often tagged as a silent pandemic, is rapidly emerging as one of the most pressing global health threats, with wide-reaching implications that stretch beyond healthcare, affecting economies, food security, and development. This was highlighted by Siobhan Lagmikant, technical officer at the World Health Organization Nigeria, during a two-day training initiative by the WHO to empower journalists to drive the change narrative with compelling data-driven health story on Thursday in Abuja. He noted that in 2019, an alarming 4.95 million deaths were attributed to drug-resistant bacterial infections globally, with 1.27 million directly caused by AMR. Vulnerable groups such as children under 5 and the elderly are disproportionately affected, as evidenced by the 20% of AMR-related deaths occurring in young children. The far-reaching consequences of AMR go beyond human health, as Chavan pointed out that it affects agricultural productivity and food security, particularly in low-resource settings, explaining further that as drug-resistant infections become harder to treat in livestock, food supplies are threatened, contributing to global hunger and economic instability. The world's leading food innovation exhibition is set to mark its historic 60th anniversary from October 19th to 23rd, 2024, at the Exhibition Center, Paris Nord Villepinte. According to a press release, the 60th anniversary celebration will be a milestone event that offers unique opportunities for industry professionals to reflect on 6 decades of groundbreaking innovations while eagerly anticipating the future of the food sector. Under the theme Own the Change, the event aims to galvanize industry professionals to embrace ongoing transformations and tackle global food challenges, and several countries from Africa will also be prominently featured with dedicated pavilions. The European Union has commenced a series of strategic events to mark its Climate Month ahead of COP29 taking place in Baku, Azerbaijan, next month. The organization said the events are part of efforts to foster sustainability through climate action. The EU Climate Month, with the theme Opportunities for Growing Green Together, features a series of impactful events aimed at highlighting the importance of collaboration between the EU, Nigeria, and other key stakeholders in promoting sustainable development. The head of cooperation, EU delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Massimo De Luca, said these events organized within the framework of the EU's Global Gateway Strategy showcase how the EU is creating opportunities for innovation, green growth, and shared climate responsibility. Senior representatives of European investors and Nigerian public and private entities already active or about to enter the green bond market recently gathered in Abuja to deepen understanding of opportunities in the Nigerian market at the imminent launch of the EU Global Green Bonds Initiative, anticipated to spur green investments totaling up to 15 to 20 billion euros. De Luca said the initiative is part of the EU's Global Gateway Strategy, which focuses on investing in sustainable infrastructure globally with the aim to support green growth, particularly in key sectors like energy, climate-smart agriculture, and digitalization, contributing to Nigeria's sustainable development goals. In a report released on Thursday, Oxfam